She trusted him with her heart. She trusted him with her children. She trusted him with her life. On August 13th, 2018, a father, a husband, a man who smiled on camera, murdered his pregnant wife, Shanann Watts, and their two young daughters. What makes this case terrifying is not just what he did, it's how normal he looked while doing it. Welcome to Midnight Sin. Shanann Watts was known for her energy. She was ambitious, outgoing, and deeply devoted to her family. She shared her life openly on social media, birthday parties, family vacations, morning routines, to the world. The Watts family looked perfect. A smiling husband, two beautiful daughters, another baby on the way. But behind the photos, behind the videos, behind the forced smiles, the marriage was quietly falling apart. And Shanann felt it. She told friends she sensed distance, coldness, a sudden emotional wall. She didn't know yet that the man she loved had already emotionally left the marriage. By mid-2018, Chris Watts had started an affair with a co-worker named Nicole Kessinger. Instead of confronting his marriage honestly, Chris created two lives, one life online, as a loving husband and father, and a second life built on lies, secrecy, and fantasy. Shanann noticed changes. He stopped calling, stopped showing affection, stopped trying. Text messages later revealed arguments, emotional distance, growing suspicion. Shanann begged him to fight for their marriage. She was pregnant, scared, desperate to save her family. But Chris wasn't looking for solutions. He was looking for an escape. To friends and co-workers, Chris began saying he felt trapped. Trapped by marriage, trapped by fatherhood, trapped by responsibility. But instead of leaving, instead of facing consequences, he chose something darker. There were financial problems, debt, bills, mounting pressure. Emotionally, Chris avoided conflict. He didn't want to be seen as the villain. He wanted a clean slate, a new life. Without divorce, without child support, without responsibility. And slowly, that desire turned into a plan that would destroy an entire family. In the early hours of August 13th, Shanann returned home from a business trip. Security cameras showed her entering the house. That was the last time she was seen alive. Inside the bedroom, an argument occurred. Shanann confronted him about the affair. What happened next changed everything forever. Chris strangled Shanann. She was pregnant, defenseless, unaware that the man beside her had already decided her fate. But the nightmare didn't stop there. Chris then turned to his daughters, two little girls who trusted him as their father. He murdered them too. Afterward, he loaded their bodies into his truck, drove to a remote oil site where he worked, and attempted to hide the evidence. Then, he went to work like nothing happened. When Shanann didn't answer calls, friends became concerned. Police were contacted within hours. Chris appeared on television, pleading, crying, asking for his family to return. But investigators noticed something strange. His behavior didn't match panic. His story kept changing. Surveillance footage, phone data, contradicting statements. Everything began collapsing. Within days, Chris Watts confessed. He admitted to killing his wife and eventually confessed to murdering his children. Today, Chris Watts is serving multiple life sentences without the possibility of parole, while Shanann's family lives with permanent loss. 2 children lost, 1 unborn life stolen, a family erased. Sometimes, monsters don't look like monsters. They don't hide in dark alleys. They sit at dinner tables. They smile in family photos. They sleep beside the people who trust them most. If this story moved you, subscribe to Midnight Sin, because darkness hides in plain sight.